The more that I read about the founder and chief brand officer of Jenny's Ice Creams, Jeni Britton Bauer, the more that I knew I needed to interview her. Jenny walked right out of a college classroom to begin selling ice cream. When her first business, called Scream, didn't take off in 1996, she got right back up on her feet and in 2002 founded her most successful venture, Jenny's Splendid Ice Creams. The business now has over 66 retail locations in the United States and is sold in grocery stores nationwide. If that weren't enough, Jenny is also a James Beard Award-winning author of a book on how to make the perfect ice cream at home called Jenny's Splendid Ice Creams at Home. During our interview, I was inspired by her intelligence and free spirit. Please welcome to the show the incredible founder of Jenny's Splendid Ice Creams, Miss Jeni Britton Bauer. It's so nice to meet you.
Thank you. It's so nice to meet you and to be with you today.
How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing really, really well. Thank you. I really am motivated by sunshine. It's like I was born under like a new moon in Scorpio. So I also love to be in the like sort of like my dark place. But I don't know. I think that's why I'm drawn to the sunshine so much. So I have these like two parts of me, which ironically is something that, or interestingly, I think people don't realize about ice cream is that there's like a dark side and a light side of ice cream. So that's something we can also talk about, which I think is what really draws me to ice cream, even though it's not something we always think about.
Right, right. Wow, you have such expertise. And of course, you're a wildly successful entrepreneur and you're a James Beard Award winner for your expertise on ice cream. But I want you to tell us about your background and how you began to really love ice cream.
Yeah, I mean, I would love that. I would love to. I mean, I grew up in the Midwest in Illinois, in the middle of Illinois in Peoria, and now I'm in the middle of Ohio. And in the Midwest, um, like ice cream is something that you do. And when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, it's like you go every weekend to the ice cream shop with your family. I mean, that's just like what you do. And then when you graduate your family, you start hanging out with your friends at the ice cream shop, or in the parking lot or whatever. It's just something that is kind of a ritual. And even when I was a kid, I really, really loved that, like the meaning behind all of it. I liked the culture of ice cream. I liked the idea that people would come together around the ice cream counter. And I even love the idea that like flavor was sort of defining of your character, like whatever flavor you chose. And so like my grandpa would choose this flavor, my grandmother would choose this flavor, my sister would choose whatever she chose. And then whatever she chose, like I couldn't choose because that was hers. And like there were like all these like ways of finding your flavor at the ice cream counter. And I just loved all of that stuff so much. I wanted to be a part of that. So in many ways, it's just really been a part of me forever. When I started to think about ice cream, because I was still working in an ice cream shop and I still loved ice cream, I started to think about ice cream maybe as a sort of carrier of scent, sort of like in perfume, you would use like either a high proof alcohol, or in the very ancient times, you would use like a fat that would be solid at room temperature but melts on body contact. And I started to infuse, well, I would make like salve or like a solid perfume. And I realized that you can use ice cream to do that. And so I started to use ice cream to carry scent like rose petal and other things. And that was my way in. That was when I really fell in love with ice cream. And not only that, but I really like just knew that it would be my entire life and that I would sacrifice anything for it.
That's an incredible story. Can you tell me, like, where did you find the confidence to walk out of class essentially and start this enterprise?
Somehow in my life, I I remember even when I was a kid thinking that like knowing that I had to be free, that I hated to be in school. I'm a very nice person, and everybody who knows me believes that. Like I know that people think I'm a nice person because that's how they treat me back. We have very nice. I like kindness and being sweet to everybody that I meet. But at the same time, I'm not a very manageable personality. I don't like to be managed. I don't like to be corralled. I don't like to be told what to do. And I would rather suffer for that. I lived out of my car for 3 months when I was opening my first ice cream shop, which was called Scream, and that was in 1996. In a way, this idea of confidence came from One, it wasn't that I believed I could do it. It was that I didn't believe that I couldn't do it. There was just, it never occurred to me that I couldn't do it or wouldn't do it, because in my mind, it was survival. Like, I had to do it because there was no way I would be able to live. So I wouldn't survive in a corporate situation. I wouldn't survive in a place where I had a boss. I mean, I just wouldn't survive. So I have to be on my own and doing my own thing. And then I need that inspiration every day.
Yeah, that's incredible. And every time I go to Jenny's, there is a line outside of the door. No matter which location I go to, I'm in that line every time. So it seems like you've built a community. What do you believe is the it factor that creates such dedicated customers?
Jenny's is a company that it's all in the nuance. Like, we were never just looking for attention in our flavors. There's always like some kind of nostalgia. There's always something that you can relate to. And I think in many ways, the way that we do everything makes people feel like a sense of belonging, a sense of being seen. So when we're out in the world, we're just listening very closely to what is coming back to us. There's no space between us and our customers, or very little. And that's really important to me. So I think we do kind of just, we do feel like we are in community with all of our first our team and then our customers. And it's really important for us. And I'll just lastly say, like, I mentioned earlier that ice cream is kind of has this like sunshine and moon side in a way. And that what we know as ice cream makers, or as the company, is that, which I think a lot of people don't realize when you're just, not an ice cream maker, is that ice cream is there for you whether you win the game or whether you lose the game. And so every Saturday, every Friday, every Monday, there are people coming into Jenny's who lost somewhere in their life. There are people who are coming to Jenny's because they're really suffering from something. And I have been in so many rooms crying with people, working with children who've lost their parents, just the longing that we also serve in our company is real. It's one of the reasons that to this day, after 26 plus years in this business, I still am so motivated by it and love it so much.
Wow, that's amazing. And of course, you have those flavors, those unique flavors that are part of the backbone of your business and why people tend to come back. Where did the inspiration for some of these unique flavors come from?
They come from all over. I mean, everything from, of course, all the food trends and things like that. I mean, sometimes we're starting them, sometimes we're just excited and excited by them. They come from our customers. They come from travel. Um, they come from history sometimes color combinations, sometimes the farmer's market. Like a lot of summers, this summer we didn't do it, but we make a sweet corn and black raspberry ice cream. And those are two ingredients that are in season at the exact same time in the farmer's market, but they're also complementary colors. I studied art. And
Mhm.
so it's pretty fun to have that yellow and purple on there. And, um, they just really come from all over.
Do you have a favorite flavor?
Well, I mentioned that my favorite one in the store is the lemon bar. I love that flavor on a cone so much. And it's like a coconut cream with like a lemon curd, and then it has like shortbread cookies or like crust in it. So it's kind of like a lemon bar, and it's vegan. But my favorite flavor at home, when I'm eating ice creams at home, and I eat ice cream at home every single day, um, is our brown butter almond brittle. I really adore that flavor, and I like to just eat it out of a pint. There's also the High Five, which is the sort of candy bar flavor. It's inspired by the Take Five, and it's this very beautiful peanut butter ice cream with chocolate covered pretzels and salted caramel. It's ridiculous. It's actually really good. I never buy that flavor now because every time I do, I eat the whole pint, and it's probably the most caloric of the ice creams we make because it's got the added peanut butter. But it is really delicious.
That sounds amazing. Of course, your passion for ice cream has inspired an entire enterprise. What advice would you give to young women who want to start their own businesses?
I I want young women to start businesses. I want so many more young women, young people to start businesses that matter, that make a difference. I mean, to me, um, just to be clear too, like you can start a business that matters to people because it's just making something that is useful, that people care about, and that is needed in the world. You don't have to be everything to everybody or anything else. I mean, if you just sort of think about that, but it's really important that we follow our, I mean, if you have that personality where you kind of know you're an entrepreneurial person, usually it's kind of a bug and it keeps like eating after you until you do it. And I just say go with it, especially when you're young, because you can make mistakes and you will. And in fact, that's the only way you learn. So as you make mistakes, just remember, oh, this is great. Now I'm more advanced than everybody else. I've just advanced further than everyone else. The people who aren't making mistakes are staying in one spot. So you'll make all these mistakes. It's really hard, but you have more time to do that when you're young. So I always say, do it when you're young. You can do it at any time in your life, of course, um, but when you're young is the time to do it, especially when you've got ideas that might work. It's also really important because I don't know. We've all probably seen these statistics, but only like less than 2% of venture capital goes to women. Like we need a lot more small businesses because some of those businesses grow into bigger businesses and some of them grow into really big businesses. And those businesses have a lot of power in America. And maybe that's unfortunate, but it's true. And so we need more people like us in power positions in America. And you know what? If that's through business, then that's what I'm out promoting. That's who I'm backing. That's who I'm trying to be a champion of, get behind. It's really, really important. And this is a long game. This is going to be a couple of generations, if not more, for us to create that sort of equity at the top where we have, you know, business leaders that look like the rest of America, basically, because those people have too much power, and it's not right. And so we have to be supporting our, especially young women, but young people of color, everybody to get so we have a very diverse power structure at the top. So we got to play the long game, but that means supporting people now, on the ground to start.
Of course. Thank you so much for joining me today. Your confidence is so inspiring, and it's been an honor to have you on the show.
Well, thank you so much, and thanks for reaching out to me. And yeah, and my best to you and all of your listeners. And start a business.
Thank you. Thank you so much.